Welcome back. Today we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving into the world of Abraham Lincoln, copper pennies, coins that could potentially make you rich. First up, the 1964 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was a key issue in the rich history of American currency. The coin had been in circulation since 1909, but by the early 1960s, it was becoming more commonly seen with the memorial reverse design, which had replaced the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse side. The 1964 date specifically was the last year that the Lincoln wheat design was produced before the transition to the memorial reverse in 1959. However, it was still very much a staple of American currency, and thus a significant issue for collectors. The coin was struck in a copper alloy and weighed 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters. It was designed by famed sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose portrait of Lincoln on the obverse has become one of the most recognizable images on U.S. coinage. On the reverse, the wheat stalks represented the agricultural prosperity of the United States during the Great Depression. The 1964 Lincoln cent was struck in massive quantities, making it a relatively common coin today, especially for collectors who may come across it in circulated condition. But here's where the story takes a unique turn. Despite the large mintage, certain variations, including the coins with particular characteristics or errors, have gained incredible value in today's market. However, it's important to note that the coin in question is in dirty condition, which isn't a typical classification for high-value coins. Generally, a coin's value increases with its preservation. Yet certain coins, such as the 1964 Lincoln cent in dirty condition, have captivated the interest of collectors due to their unique appearance. A coin in this state may have a distinct tarnish or patina, which, combined with the black color it exhibits, could indicate years of circulation or environmental exposure. Though this may lower its grade, it may not fully detract from its rarity if it is tied to an error or unique feature. The mintage for the 1964 Lincoln cent was extremely high, with over 2 billion coins struck that year across various U.S. mints. Despite the high mintage, coins with specific conditions like being in dirty or blackened condition are much rarer. Some numismatists value these coins because the unique condition adds to their character, and over time, collectors have started to view these types of coins as desirable due to the individuality of their appearance. The current auction value for a 1964 Lincoln cent in this condition can range from $10,000 to upwards of $47,000 depending on the severity of the damage, the level of tarnish, and whether any errors are present. Rare examples of these pennies have been known to fetch higher prices, especially if they exhibit significant wear yet retain aspects of their original mint design. Collectors tend to find interest in coins with distinctive flaws. In the case of the 1964 Lincoln cent, the blackened or dirty appearance may not necessarily be considered an error, but rather a sign of aging or mishandling. However, errors like die cracks, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies could also be present, making a dirty coin much more valuable. The appeal for many collectors lies in finding coins with personal stories or historical significance. This particular coin, with its tarnished appearance and potential error features, becomes a piece of history to some, with the unique characteristics making it particularly desirable for certain collectors. Interest in the 1964 Lincoln penny is high not only because of the coin's historical significance, but also because it marks the last of the Lincoln wheat cents before the switch to the memorial reverse in 1959. Any deviations from the norm, whether it be unique condition, errors, or slight variations, lead to higher prices on the auction market. Next up, the 1969 Lincoln wheat cent was struck during a transitional period for U.S. currency. By the late 1960s, the United States had entered a period of increased coin production due to inflation and growing economic demands. The Lincoln cent continued to be a familiar feature in circulation, and in 1969, the coins were struck with a large date designed to assist in differentiating them from other years. This was part of an ongoing effort to adjust the designs on circulating coinage. This coin, unlike the 1964, also carries a D mint mark, indicating that it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities producing coins during this time. The decision to continue using the Lincoln Wheat design for another decade was part of a slow transition to new coin designs that would eventually mark the 1970s. The design of the 1969 Lincoln cent is nearly identical to that of the 1964 coin, featuring Brenner's portrait of Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse side, however, has some distinguishing features that separate the wheat design from the later memorial reverse. The large date on the 1969 coin is the key distinguishing feature from other years. The positioning of the digits in this year is larger compared to those in earlier coins, making the coin stand out in terms of design aesthetics. The coin, as it has been described, is in dirty condition, which means it may have been exposed to certain elements or improperly handled over the years. The coin might have tarnish or discoloration, especially around the areas where the D mint mark resides. Despite this, the unique condition of the coin makes it all the more fascinating to collectors who value the character that comes with aged and circulated currency. In terms of mintage, the 1969 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark had a total production of around 3.7 billion coins, which is quite high. Even so, there is growing interest in coins that are in circulated but rare conditions, such as those with blackened or dirty appearances. Typically, Lincoln cents from this era are readily available, but the unique characteristics of a dirty, circulated coin set it apart. The current auction market values for a 1969 Lincoln Wheat cent in this condition can range anywhere from $29,000 depending on its rarity, damage, and errors. Dirty or tarnished coins are still valuable to the right collector, who appreciates the history and uniqueness these imperfections bring to the coin. Much like the 1964 Lincoln cent, the 1969 D mint mark version carries considerable interest due to the potential for errors. In particular, this coin is well known for possible double-die obverses, where the image of Lincoln is doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. Such errors can significantly increase the value of a coin, as collectors are willing to pay premiums for these rare finds. Even without any obvious errors, the fact that this coin has survived over 50 years and still holds a prominent place in collectors' hearts speaks volumes about its appeal. Coins with these characteristics, dirt, tarnish, and age, are treasured by those who seek to collect pieces of American history that have weathered time. Next up, the 1975 Lincoln cent, especially in a large date variety without a mint mark, represents a unique chapter in American numismatic history. While the coin itself may seem like a standard cent to the untrained eye, the 1975 penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its distinctive features and the condition in which some of these coins have survived over the decades. The 1975 Lincoln cent was produced during a period when the U.S. Mint was working to meet an ever-growing demand for coins to support the economy. In fact, the 1970s were a turbulent time in the United States, marked by inflation, economic challenges, and changing public attitudes toward money and the mint. The coin was struck in a period of transition following the end of silver coinage, and it represented a bridge between older, classic designs and the more modern interpretations of the American penny. The 1975 cent features the now iconic design created by Victor David Brenner, showing Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the classic wheat stalks on the reverse, a design that was in 1975 circulation from 1909 to 1958. However, the 1975 version had its own specific details, such as the large date style, which was a slight modification of the original smaller font from prior years. This change created a noticeable difference in the way the numbers on the coin appeared, which would later influence collectors to pay close attention to the exact year and design of each coin. The obverse of the 1975 Lincoln cent features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, facing right. The reverse showcases the wheat ears that were part of the coin's design from its inception in 1909 until the transition to the memorial reverse in 1959. However, for the 1975 penny, the large date version was particularly distinct. The date numerals 1, 9, 7, and 5 are significantly larger than in previous years, making them easily identifiable by collectors and giving the coin a bold appearance that contrasts with its smaller counterpart. The mintage of the 1975 Lincoln cent was relatively high, with millions of these coins struck to meet the needs of the public. However, certain variants and conditions of the 1975 cent have become highly sought after in the years that followed. The large date variety, in particular, is one of the key features that collectors target, as it stands out from the regular version. While millions were minted, the wear and tear that many of these coins have undergone over the years makes high-quality specimens harder to find. The absence of a mint mark on the 1975 cent is another feature that increases its value. Coins without mint marks typically command higher prices because they are harder to find in uncirculated or near-uncirculated condition. The general absence of mint marks on coins produced in 1975 reflects how the U.S. Mint was in the midst of a transitional phase during that time, and certain batches were produced at the Philadelphia Mint without any mint marks, making these coins even rarer. In today's market, the value of a 1975 Lincoln cent in black, dirty, or well-worn condition might not seem like it would break the bank at first glance. However, the coin's rarity in specific conditions such as the large date variety and its high collector interest can make a dirty or blackened specimen fetch anywhere from $60,000 in an auction, depending on its specific condition and grading. Collectors often look for coins with unique characteristics, such as certain coloration or minor imperfections, which can be indicative of a rare error or just give the coin a unique character. Coins with black coloration, especially those with natural aging or staining, can sometimes see an uptick in value due to their unique aesthetic and the fact that these discolorations are often seen as authentic aging, not damage. In top-tier grading conditions, a 1975 Lincoln cent with a large date and no mint mark, even in dirty or well-worn form, can sometimes see auction prices above $79,000, with pristine or nearly flawless specimens commanding even higher bids. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1975 Lincoln cent is its potential to harbor small minting errors. Errors in the striking process, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or filled die errors, can significantly boost the coin's market value. Even a dirty or blackened coin with one of these errors can be extremely valuable to the right collector, as error coins hold a certain mystique in the numismatic world. The appeal of errors is often tied to their rarity. While millions of coins were struck in 1975, only a small fraction experienced minting anomalies. Because of this, collectors prize these errors and are willing to pay top dollar to add them to their collections. Next up, the 1982 Lincoln Wheat cent is another key piece in the Lincoln cent saga that has garnered significant attention from collectors and investors. As a part of the transitionary period between the traditional copper alloy cents and the newer zinc-based coins, the 1982 penny represents a significant year in both U.S. coinage and the larger socio-economic context of the time. By the time 1982 rolled around, the United States had undergone several major economic shifts, including the end of the Bretton Woods system and the abandonment of the gold standard in the early 1970s. Inflation was rampant in the 1970s, and the U.S. government began to look for ways to cut costs and address the rising expenses of coin production. This led to the introduction of a major change in the metal composition of pennies, with the mint moving from copper to a copper-plated zinc alloy. The 1982 penny is often a collector's target because of its transitional nature, with some varieties being struck in pure copper and others in the new zinc-based material. The design of the 1982 Lincoln cent kept the traditional elements of Abraham Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks on the reverse, continuing the long-standing tradition of honoring Lincoln's legacy on U.S. currency. However, it was also the last year the classic wheat reverse was used, replaced by the memorial reverse in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Much like the 1975 cent, the 1982 Lincoln penny features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse. The reverse showcases two wheat stalks surrounding a small shield, a classic design that would become iconic as the Lincoln cent. The 1982 coin features a large date format, which became popular in some years as a more distinguishable way of identifying a coin's year. The reverse design, featuring the two wheat stalks, is where the coin gets its name wheat cent. This design remained in use for nearly 50 years before being replaced by the memorial reverse. In the case of the 1982 penny, the design marks the final year of the wheat reverse, adding a layer of historical importance to the coin's value. The 1982 penny had a large montage to meet the demands of the public. This was a year when the mint had to produce an overwhelming number of pennies, as the nation was facing economic pressures, including inflation. The decision to switch to a cheaper alloy was a reflection of the times, making the 1982 penny a key historical marker in the evolution of U.S. coinage. However, certain versions of the 1982 penny are rarer than others. In particular, the version with a large date and no mint mark is particularly valuable due to its limited production and the interest it piques among collectors. While these pennies are not necessarily rare in the strictest sense, they are often sought after in better condition. A 1982 Lincoln wheat cent, in dirty or worn condition, can still fetch anywhere from $55,000 depending on the severity of the wear and its specific features. Coins that are in more pristine or near mint condition are likely to command even higher auction prices. As with many pennies, errors in the 1982 Lincoln wheat cent can make a substantial difference in its market value. Coins with double-die errors, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies can see their value increase dramatically, with collectors actively seeking out these specimens for their rarity and historical significance. Collectors are also drawn to coins with signs of age, such as corrosion, tarnish, or a patina, as they provide a unique look and feel to the coin. A dirty or blackened 1982 penny may not only have increased appeal due to these imperfections, but also because it may indicate a unique and rare variety, adding an element of intrigue for collectors and investors. The 1982 Lincoln wheat, sent without a mint mark, even in dirty or worn condition, remains a highly desirable coin for numismatists. While it might not carry the same premium as a pristine or error-filled specimen, it is still one of the most sought-after U.S. coins in this category. The coin's historical significance, combined with its potential for minting errors and natural aging, makes it a must-have for serious collectors. Next up, the 1973 Lincoln cent was produced at a pivotal time in American history. The United States was navigating through the aftermath of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and the early years of the post-1960 economic transitions. Despite this tumultuous backdrop, the coin's design and features remained largely unchanged from previous years. The penny's familiar Abraham Lincoln portrait was still gracing the obverse, while the reverse depicted the simple and timeless image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in circulation since 1959. Produced in a period of economic challenge, the 1973 penny, like its counterparts from the 1970s, was primarily struck in copper with the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc composition. However, collectors have been drawn to the subtle differences in the design, mintage, and specific characteristics of certain years, including the 1973 large date variant. Mintage and rarity. In 1973, the U.S. Mint produced over 3 billion pennies, making the regular 1973 Lincoln cent a common coin in circulation. However, the specific version with the large date and without a mint mark in circulated blackened and dirty condition is extremely rare in high-grade condition. Most coins from this time period are found in worn-out, circulated states due to their extensive use in daily transactions. The lack of a mint mark, which denotes whether the coin was produced at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco Mint, is a distinguishing feature for this particular coin. Coins from Philadelphia typically do not have a mint mark, and these are often more intriguing to collectors due to the variety of errors and production inconsistencies that can occur in such a large minting operation. The 1973 Lincoln cent features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this image of Lincoln has become one of the most iconic and widely recognized symbols of the United States. Lincoln's image is depicted in profile, with his beard and distinctive facial features making him instantly recognizable. Surrounding the image are the words, "In God We Trust Liberty," and 1973, the latter signifying the year of issue. On the reverse side, the coin shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The detailed engraving captures the grandeur of the memorial's columns and the intricate steps leading up to the monument. Above the memorial is the phrase E pluribus unum, and the inscription 1 cent appears below the image. The unique condition of the coin in question, dirty, with a blackened appearance, adds another layer of intrigue. While most coins from this era have been circulated and show varying degrees of wear and tarnish, the black color can occur due to environmental factors or long-term exposure to elements like moisture or air pollutants. The blackened and dirty condition, often associated with a lack of proper care, creates a distinct anomaly in the coin's overall appearance. Typically, collectors desire coins in cleaner, well-preserved conditions, but those with unique, worn, or altered features can still carry significant value. These patina coins can attract interest from niche collectors who appreciate the raw, weathered look of historical coins. Regarding market value, the 1973 Lincoln cent with these unique characteristics could sell for a considerable price depending on the severity of the damage and the buyer's interest in unique, worn coins. The black color and dirty condition may drive up interest for some collectors, especially those focusing on error coins or those seeking specific types of well-worn historical artifacts. A coin in circulated, dirty condition typically has a modest base value, but if it is part of a rare error or an unrecognized type, such as the large date without mint mark, it can fetch anywhere from $39,500 or more, depending on the buyer's niche interests. Collector interest in this particular 1973 Lincoln cent is fueled by a mix of factors: the historical context of the early 1970s, the absence of a mint mark, and the unique aesthetic appeal of the blackened, circulated condition. Collectors often seek to complete sets of coins with distinctive traits, including those with errors, unusual patinas, or other idiosyncratic features. Coins in this condition are also of interest to junk or hoard coin collectors, individuals who look for the often overlooked pieces of U.S. currency that carry with them a certain degree of historical or aesthetic value. Despite its wear and age, the 1973 Lincoln cent in black, dirty condition could spark a bidding war among those in this particular market. Next up, the 1976 Lincoln cent was released during a year of great national pride and celebration, the Bicentennial of the United States. This milestone marked the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Coinciding with this important event, the U.S. Mint produced a special bicentennial quarter with a unique reverse design, but the regular Lincoln cent remained a crucial part of the nation's circulating currency. The 1976 coin year was full of national celebrations, with bicentennial events across the country. But for coin collectors, the 1976 Lincoln cent stands out due to its mintage, design features, and the infamous error associated with it. The D-mint mark error involved a mishap in the minting process that resulted in certain coins receiving a flawed mint mark. The 1976 Lincoln cent saw a significant increase in production, with nearly 4 billion coins minted in that year alone. As with other coins of this era, most 1976 pennies were minted in large quantities for everyday circulation. However, a small portion of these coins had errors, particularly related to the D-mint mark. The error occurred when the mint mark, struck by the minting machinery, was incorrectly placed or misaligned. The error coins from 1976, particularly those with the large date and the D-error mint mark, are considered rare and highly sought after by collectors. Because such errors are often spotted in early production and pulled from circulation, surviving examples of these misprints are more valuable to collectors who focus on errors. Much like other Lincoln cents, the 1976 version features the standard obverse design with the image of Abraham Lincoln. The year 1976 appears prominently, signifying its place in U.S. history as the nation's bicentennial year. The reverse side showcases the Lincoln Memorial, which is familiar to many collectors. However, what sets the 1976 Lincoln cent apart from others is the error in the D mint mark placement. The mint mark was intended to be placed beneath the date, indicating that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. However, due to a minting error, the mint mark was either misplaced or incorrectly applied, leading to a fascinating variant for collectors. The D mint mark error is highly valuable in today's market, with prices for this coin reaching hundreds of dollars in auction depending on the quality and condition. A coin in fine condition with this error mint mark can fetch upwards of $100,000 or more in the right market. The misalignment of the mint mark and its relatively low survival rate adds to its rarity and appeal. Error coins in fine condition are particularly desirable because they retain much of their original design features, but their flaws give them a distinct personality that collectors find intriguing. The collector interest surrounding the 1976 Lincoln cent with the D error mint mark is significant, particularly among those who specialize in error coins. The error adds an element of surprise and intrigue, drawing attention to an otherwise common coin. Collectors who focus on error types or seek to complete a set of Lincoln cents with unique features will find this 1976 coin to be a valuable addition to their collection. Next up, the 1982 Lincoln cent is one of the most famous and talked about coins in U.S. history. It marks the transition from the traditional copper composition of pennies to the new copper-plated zinc alloy. This change was driven by a surge in copper prices, which made the cost of producing pennies more than their face value. The U.S. Mint produced these cents with two distinct designs, the large date and the small date. The large date is particularly significant because it is much rarer than the small date and often considered the more collectible of the two. The 1982 cent has a deep connection to the economic landscape of the early 1980s, as inflation, rising metal prices, and economic uncertainty played a role in this drastic redesign of the coin. This is one of the last years the U.S. Mint used the traditional copper composition for pennies before making the shift to a copper-plated zinc core. The obverse of the 1982 Lincoln cent features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The large date version of the 1982 cent has a noticeably larger number 8 compared to the small date version, which is where the distinction comes into play. The large date was primarily used for coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but coins with a small date were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. When the coin is in circulated condition with a color-changed, dirty appearance, collectors often have to rely more on its rarity and specific characteristics rather than pristine details. The circulation marks, color changes, and dirt accumulation can obscure the finer details of the coin, but this doesn't necessarily diminish its value, especially if it is an example of the large date version. In its circulated, color-changed, and dirty condition, this coin's value may not be as high as an uncirculated example, but it still holds interest in the market due to its rarity and the fact that the large date version is more desirable among collectors. In today's auction market, a circulated 1982 large date without a mint mark can fetch anywhere between $30,000 depending on the exact condition. However, in higher grades, such as very fine or extremely fine, the price can escalate significantly, reaching up to $50,000 or more for the most pristine examples of this large date variety. The value of this coin increases substantially if it is found with any unique error or anomaly, such as a die crack or off-center strike. In the past, some 1982 cents have been found with overdates or other subtle minting errors that have driven up interest and, as a result, auction prices. Although the 1982 Lincoln cent does not typically have prominent errors, there are several rare anomalies that collectors look for, which can greatly increase its value. One of the most exciting errors related to this coin is the double die error, where the number 8 in the large date is doubled. This creates a noticeable shift in the alignment of the digits, making the coin stand out. Additionally, if a 1982 large date cent has experienced unusual color changes due to environmental exposure, it may be of particular interest to advanced collectors who specialize in environmentally damaged or patina coins. Some collectors seek coins that have unique or striking coloration as a result of oxidation, dirt, or exposure to chemicals. While these coins may not be highly valued in traditional numismatics, they do hold niche appeal among certain groups of collectors. In summary, while a 1982 Lincoln cent in circulated, color-changed, and dirty condition may not fetch a fortune, its market value is not insignificant, particularly when it's the large-date version. The rarity of this type, combined with the coin's connection to a key moment in U.S. mint history, ensures that it remains an essential piece in many collections. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.